morning. I'm a bit out of breath this morning. I was just running up and down the stairs. I was expecting a couple of cookie pickups this morning, and I'm relieved they all came early. So no interruptions this morning. So thank you so much for being here. Welcome to another episode of Rapid Fire Friday. Honestly, one of my favorite times of the week. And so welcome to the episode that we're going to get right into it, but I do want to say thank you for everyone that's watching and those that are watching the replay. These are not published publicly, so this is just something special for the community in the Cookie Decorating Hobby to Business 101 group. So welcome new members. If this is your first episode, I welcome you, and I do encourage you to go back to the archives and watch past Rapid Fire Fridays. So really quickly, what is Rapid Fire Friday? And what I do is I come on for a few moments on Friday mornings at 10 o'clock, and I share with you 5 questions, wonderments, scenarios from the past week that I find interesting, that I think you may also find interesting, hopefully. But please keep in mind that this is going to be from my perspective, and I'm involved in a number of other groups, and I have conversations with folks on a regular basis, whether it be a fellow cookie decorator or someone who has a hobby, someone is in their business, and perhaps just conversations with my clients. So it's really, really fun because the topics can vary anywhere from decorating to business topics and ideas and suggestions. So again, but it's coming from my perspective, from my journey, so take it with a grain of salt. And it's not the end all. I always like to say that because I'm still learning, and I really do love being in this community with you all because there are some really super talented, very giving, very compassionate people, and I just love the interaction that we have. So keep those positive vibes coming. I really do appreciate every single person in this community. So here's how it works. I'm going to ring the bell after each wonderment or scenario, and then we'll move on. But it is Rapid Fire Friday, so I do talk very quickly. I know you cannot rewatch. There's always a lot of golden nuggets in these episodes. So, okay, so for the first one, this one is all about packaging your dough. So whether you are packaging it for short-term storage or long-term, okay? And how do you do that? So here's the scenario. Are the self-healing bags just as good as if I were to heat seal them when it comes to the freshness, or would heat sealing, wait a second. The question is, are the self-sealing bags just as good as if I were to heat seal them when it comes to freshness, or is heat sealing them even better to keep them fresh? So let me explain this. So sometimes it's better just to show you a picture, but bottom line is there was this conversation about how do you package cookies? Do you wrap them? Do you tie them? Do you seal them? But what was interesting is the conversation went more towards the dough. So what do you do with the dough once you make the dough and you want to store it? You want to kind of batch and work ahead. So what I saw is that all the chatter, there was a lot of chatter coming in, and it was interesting because a lot of people showed pictures and described that they put their dough in 2-gallon freezer bags. And this started trending a while ago, and it just kind of like, I guess I'll be honest with you, it bothers me a little bit because to me, it's very wasteful. That's a lot of plastic bags for very short-term use. It doesn't hold a lot of dough. And yes, it's convenient, and I get that it's convenient. But I just want you to think about, with this particular scenario, is just think about what is trending in the cookie decorating world and industry. It is so quick for something to get hot and like trend. But if you stop to think, is this right for you? Is it right for your family? Is it cost effective? Is it easy to use? Is it accessible? And is it really great for the environment? And I don't want to get all political here. That's not where I'm going. But just for me personally, it made me think about not only how do I store my dough, short-term and long-term, but it also made me think about what can I do in my business to be frugal? I mean, I can't imagine if you see the cost in your community, how much a package of 2-gallon Ziploc bags, that adds up very, very quickly. And this gal mentioned she only gets 20 to 30 cookies per bag. So do the math, multiply. Oh my word, money is being thrown away, literally in the garbage, because you can't reuse those bags. Now I feel like I'm getting off on a tangent here, But I really do encourage you to look at that. Is that something that you should do, you want to do? Can you afford to do? And so here's what you're probably thinking, well, Annette, what do you do? I can tell you I do not use 2-gallon freezer bags. I use them very selectively. I use them for actually storing cookie cutters. And so not for all of them, but for some of them. But what I do is I look at a kitchen supply store. I found a really low weight, low grade saran wrap. So not your basic saran wrap in the grocery store. You know, go and search the food grade, commercial grade, of course, saran, but get a low weight. It is really inexpensive, and you don't even need to double wrap them, especially if you're going to be using the dough pretty quickly. And so that's what I use. And I do a lot of batching. I do a lot of high volume. We go through our dough pretty quickly, but even if I were to store it in the freezer, I would double wrap with that saran wrap, put it in an airtight container, and I'm good to go. So, you know, sorry, Ziploc, but I just want you to, again, the message here is don't follow suit. Don't do everything everybody else is doing, because trends come and go, and just make sure that it is, you know, something that makes sense and it's cost effective. Okay. This whole community is based around taking your hobby to a business. You've got to look at your costs, every single penny that's going out the door. All right. That one obviously had a lot of passion for, it just cracks me up. Okay, so there was this past week, I talked about 10 indicators that will kind of give you the idea that, are you ready to hire? So 10 indicators, it's time to hire your first employee. Please go back and watch the replay. And not only the replay, but go back and look at the feed of the questions and the conversations we were having. There were some really good post conversations happening about different scenarios that folks are in. So whether they are in the midst of hiring, or they're afraid to hire, or they don't know where to start, or, you know, they just don't even know where to look. So what I'll leave you with that is, you know, I know it's easier said than done, but you do need to be realistic, and it is really, it may be time. So even if you're just starting out, I think that you could probably bring someone on at least for a couple hours a week to help lighten the load for you. And there are ways. So like, let's say I'll just talk about one scenario. There are ways that if you say I can't afford it, and that might actually be the reality. You don't have money in your bank account and you don't have those orders coming in, but there are ways that you can, and avenues to look at. So I'll just rattle them off. I'm not going to go into too deep, because those could all be individual master classes. So consider a high school student, not just a high school student, but a student that's going through an internship program with their school. I had an experience. I had a high school student approach me, and it was actually going to be for as part of her curriculum. It was a non-paid internship for an entire semester. And I chose to pay her. I paid her an hourly fee, but it was a non-paid. So check with your local high schools. It might be part of their curriculum, especially for the advanced placement students. They're really, and I'm so excited that high schools are now incorporating in their curriculum to have students go out and actually work for credit. So that's a really good one. You know, there are moms, young moms out there that just need an outlet, that just want a couple hours a week. You know, they're not looking, you know, they just want to get out. So that is something to think about. You know, retirees, and possibly an apprentice program. So you want to think and, you know, formalize that. Don't be willy-nilly about it, but, you know, think about what are the ways that I have value. I mean, I can teach people something, and a lot of times they just want, you know, they just want to learn from you, and they're not looking for a paycheck. That's not their goal. They just want to learn from you. So think about those things. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for joining. This is fantastic. It's a large group this morning. It's so wonderful. Appreciate it. Okay. So let's see here. I'm going to go on to the next one here. So, this is a really good one. So what do you suggest when someone wants an example of your work, but if you haven't done that event or theme? Okay, so again, the question is, what do you do when someone's asking me, well, can you show me what it's going to look like? Here's where I really want you to remind yourself that you are the expert, and that this is your area to shine. This is what you do, and you're really good at it. So you got to continuously tell yourself that. But it is a really good question, because I do get asked often from not only new clients, but some of my existing clients. And I remind them that, first of all, I don't just say, I don't have enough time to make samples for you. But what I do is I take a different spin on it. So, because the reality is there's not enough time in the day to make a sample for every single person or every single order, right? So that'd just be impossible. So what I say, and here's some language, and you can, use this for inspiration. Please don't copy, but just listen to what I'm saying and make it your own. So this is what I say. Our 5-star customer reviews, testimonials, and our huge gallery of custom cookies is proof of the high quality presentation your client can expect. So this, I'm talking to one of my experiential companies. They have a client. So, and this is even trickier because I'm telling not only my client, but I'm telling the client to tell their client that I won't do a sample. So I know, a little risky, right? But here's where I go. Be assured your order specifications and visuals shared during the planning process will be carefully considered for decorating inspiration. So they gave me some photos to work off of. So not necessarily cookie samples, but I have their specifications. If you or your client have additional visuals for design inspiration, please share. Thank you for your understanding. I also have a link on the website for customers to try before you buy. So they may order a small gift box for those who would like to taste first. So again, I'm not saying I'm going to make that design. I'm going to talk about, give them maybe a drawing, or I'm going to talk very, detail it out in their order confirmation, but I am not making samples for nearly, it is very selective if I do. It is going to be like a big, big job. And in fact, I did do that. I did do that recently because it was for, now I can announce it, it was for Dior, and they are super particular. And she had an entire leadership team that had to sign off on this project. It was a lot of boxes going out nationwide. And I chose to, excuse me, I chose to make the samples. She didn't ask. I recommended that we make a sample because I did not want one piece of this presentation to be off. So there are times, again, the original question was, what do you suggest when someone asks for a sample? I generally say, what I just said, but there are going to be times where maybe it's your peace of mind. Maybe there is some question that maybe you don't understand their vision. Maybe you're not really sure. Yes, absolutely. Those are the times where you don't want to take it a step further and maybe make them a sample. Okay. You know what's really funny? I am a huge coffee drinker. I had 0 coffee today. I had a cup of tea. And I feel like I'm talking a mile a minute from a cup of tea. So, oh my word. Okay, so let me move on to the next one. I'm actually going to have 4 for you today because I have things to share after this. I wanted to talk about some of the upcoming masterclasses. You're going to be super excited about this because I did batch. I have the topics selected and I want to share those with you. So, okay, so let's see. The last one, here's just a baking tip. This is great. So I told you last week that the new members, I want to really get the new members involved in these Rapid Fire Fridays right away. So one of the questions to join the group is, can you share, do you have a baking tip? So, and a lot of folks don't, they're new to the craft and whatnot, but a lot of people that come in our group here, they do. They've been in the hobby, they're transforming their business. So a lot of really good baking tips are coming in. So one person said, if you don't love it and feel the passion about it, this is great for beginner cookie decorators. Again, if you don't love it and feel passionate about it, chances are it's not going to go well. Remember to have fun when you're decorating cookies. And I love this. This is so motivating and so inspirational because I talked just this last Wednesday in the Is It Time to Hire, that you've got to do what you love. So even in your business, out of all the tasks that you have to do as a business owner and as a cookie decorator and as an artist, there are going to be things that you just don't care to do. It's not possible to love every single aspect of your job. I mean, there's always going to be routine tasks. There's always going to be things that you kind of dread. But the thing is this person is so right. If you don't love it and feel passionate about it, and you can feel, you can love it and feel passionate about it when it's not you specifically doing that. So as long as you have someone who's helping you, but overall, you've got to feel the love and passion. Otherwise, it will come through on your cookie presentations and just your overall attitude and how you interact with your clients. So I love this part of this Rapid Fire Friday, and I'm going to continue to bring these best baking tips because it really sparks ideas and strategies for me so that I can kind of, again, spin it and give you my perspective and what does that mean to me? Because sometimes it's not just when I say that's it. There's so much more in that just short statement. So, all right. I'm just going to say hello to a few folks this morning. So hello, Edna and Karen, Darlene, hello. We've got Laura and Julie, Chelsea, Nancy, hello, Andrea, Michelle, hi, Michelle. Thank you so much, and thank you for those that are watching replay. We get a lot of replays, and I love that and that's why I keep these masterclasses and Rapid Fire Fridays in the queue for you, because I know we're on all different schedules, and I don't want you to miss a thing. So thank you for coming back and spending some of your valuable time with me. So hopefully some of you are multitasking, but sometimes I want to say, you know what? Don't multitask when you're listening to this, because you might miss something, and always have a pen and pad ready to go. I'm a little old school, but I do that with all my podcasts that I listen to, because the golden nuggets that fly by are crazy. So I'm not saying write everything down, but those little things that really brought your attention, jot that down so you can, remind yourself of those. Okay, so let's just talk about the most recent replays. Again, January 18th, it was airbrushing with Sugar Prism. Thank you for those that had purchased, and I shouldn't even say thank you, I should say congratulations. You've purchased Sugar Prism, which is by far the best edible paints on the market. And I just purchased a couple more products, so I have some more colors to play with. So thank you so much for offering that discount code, and there'll be another one coming. So hold tight here for a second. And then again, this past Wednesday was the 10 indicators. It's time to hire your first employee. Now here's what's coming up, okay? So I did a little batching here, folks. All right, so this Wednesday, we've got Royal Icing Wet on Wet Technique. February 8th, the art of networking and collaborating. I'm bringing that back a long, long time ago, but because of popular demand, and I have more to share, we're gonna do networking and collaborations. February 15th, the 10 biggest mistakes when working with Royal Icing, okay? There are a lot of mistakes. I'm just going to focus on the first 10. And then February 22nd is going to be, I'm so confused and tired. Which social media platform, for goodness sake, should I be on? So something in that area. February 29th, Michelle, I know you're watching. I would love to do hand painting with Sugar Prism again, however, with a different spin. And so I'm going to show you how you can add depth and texture to your already royal iced cookies. Okay, so that's going to be February 29th. And then finally, March 1st, for now, we'll go to March 1st. Okay, here's a good one. Listen to this, why create your bestseller without even knowing what your bestseller is? We're talking like you're a hobby, you're going to be a business. You always hear me talk about niche down, focus on your bestseller, but I'm going to teach you how to create a bestseller before you even launch your business. Okay, so that's going to be an awesome one. So, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for those upcoming topics. I cannot wait. So if you have a topic of suggestion, just go ahead and DM me, put that right in the feed, and then please visit AnnetteConrad.com. I added a recipe that I made recently, and I'll be super transparent with you. I also added Annette's tip jar, okay? I added Annette's tip jar, so if you guys want to just buy me a cup of coffee, I would love that. So thank you so much. Any contribution that you make is so greatly appreciated, because I love bringing you content, but please know that it takes me time. It takes money. It takes, there's so much value there, and people have told me that because I have testimonial after testimonial after testimonial. So I want to continue providing value, but I also am running a business. So visit AnnetteConrad.com. If you go to my free resources link at the very bottom, you'll see Annette's tip jar. So, and I'll give you an example of one of the testimonials that I received that I just read over and over because it just makes me want to bring more content to you. So, this is what this person wrote. I would like to send a huge thank you to Annette Conrad. 6 months ago, on a whim, I posted some teacher appreciation cookies on my local community Facebook page. Within 1 hour, I had taken $800 in orders and had to take the post down as I was a total beginner and wasn't sure what I was getting myself into. Fast forward to now, in 3 weeks preceding Christmas, I took $5,000 in cookie orders. I couldn't have done it without everything I've learned in this community, Cookie Decorating Hobby to Business 101, and from Annette's generosity of sharing all of her time and knowledge. Thank you. I'm telling you, that just warms my heart. It brightens my day. And again, I want to continue bringing you value. And so you can do that by helping to, share this community, engage in the community, and, visit the website, AnnetteConrad.com, and also just let me know what it is you want to learn. I have all my own ideas, but I would love to teach and share what is on your plate? What are you thinking about? What is stressing you out? All of those things, because you're not alone, and we've got a great community, and there's so many other people that are willing to help. So, all right, a cup of tea, that's crazy. Maybe I should start drinking tea. No, I think I'm going back to my coffee, but yeah, so thank you so much, everyone. It's a pleasure. And I will see you all soon. All right, take care.